Hi everyone, this is Hans doing my fourth vlog from the IVLP program, currently from Raleigh, North Carolina. And in this vlog, I would like to talk about the midterm elections themselves and why they are so important, because I've been getting quite a number of questions about those, and I'd really like to explain a bit how the elections work here in this country. So as you hopefully know, Congress is the general name for both houses in the United States. You have the House of Representatives, which has 435 members, and you have the Senate, which has 100 members. The 435 members of the House are elected every 2 years, so their term is only 2 years, and they're based on population, the spread throughout the states. So states like California have a lot of representatives. I think they have 55. States like Wisconsin, which has 4 times as many cows as it has people, only have a couple of members representing their state. So every election, all 435 seats are up, and well, there's elections for every single seat. The Senate is a bit different. The Senate has 2 members representing every state. There's 50 states, so that makes 100 representatives in the Senate. And every 2 years, there's 1/3 up for election, which means that the term for one senator is 6 years, and it changes every time. So now we have 33 members of the Senate current up for re-election or contested seats. Having been here in the US for a week now, I've heard many people say that this is the most important election in history. This is an election for the history books. A lot is at stake. Well, and whilst this is probably somewhat overstating it, there's still a lot at stake, regardless of what US citizens think about it. And why is that? Because it's very likely that the control in the House of Representatives might change. Currently, both the House of Representatives and the Senate are controlled by the Republican Party. As you know, the United States is a 2-party system, which basically means that if you have a majority of the representatives in either house, you basically control the entire thing and all legislature. So currently the Republican Party controls both houses. They have majorities in both the House of Representatives and the Senate, and it looks like that might change. Basically all the polls that you can read online, also from independent international media, predict that the House will go into Democratic hands, that the Democrats will have a majority in the House of Representatives. The Senate looks less likely. The polls predict that the Senate will remain Republican. This means that after November 5th, after the election, we will get a divided government. That has a couple of consequences. First of all, if the House and the Senate are controlled by different parties, that makes it a lot harder to get legislature through to actually govern the country. So we'll be seeing a lot of fighting between both houses and intensified fighting between the parties, with worse government as a result. Secondly, and this is by far more important, the House of Representatives is the chamber that can start an impeachment procedure. What is impeachment, you might ask? Well, impeachment is the first step in the process to remove a US president from office by accusing him of high crimes or bribery or treason or anything of the sort. So far, this hasn't happened because, as said, the Republicans control the House of Representatives, and the House of Representatives is the chamber that starts the impeachment process. The Republicans in the House have not dared to start the impeachment process against President Trump. But once the Democrats control the House of Representatives, it's very, very likely that they will vote on the start of an impeachment procedure, and that they will very likely accuse Donald Trump of multiple crimes during his campaign race. They will probably also ask for his tax returns, which he hasn't disclosed as the only president in history so far. However, that does not mean that President Trump will not be president anymore, seeing as the second step in the impeachment procedure, or in the procedure to remove the president from office, is the conviction of the president, and the conviction happens in the Senate, and the Senate is still controlled by the Republicans, the party of Mr. Trump. So it's very unlikely that President Trump will actually be removed from office. Nevertheless, this impeachment procedure will be very, very difficult for Mr. Trump, for the presidency in general, and for the Republican Party, which will then have an effect in the next presidential elections in 2020. I hope I was able to explain the significance of this midterm elections somewhat understandably. If you have any more questions, please don't hesitate to ask me in the comments. I'll happily reply. Also, don't forget to hit the like button and to subscribe to my channel for my next vlogs. Thank you. See you next time.